There are two types of people in this country. Those that depend on other people to keep them safe, making them perpetual victims, and those that know the only person responsible for your safety is you. Apparently, the people in Houston, Texas are the latter.
New tonight, Houston gun owners taking matters into their own hands, fighting back against criminals.
That's right. Just this week, we've reported on 3 apparent burglars shot, 2 dead, all accused of trying to commit crimes here in the city.
This has happened a surprising amount over the last several weeks. Burglars and robbers shot dead in the city of Houston, but authorities want to remind people to know the law and to be careful. Violent robberies caught on camera across Houston. This victim followed home from a bank. These people eating in a popular sushi restaurant held at gunpoint.
The way society is going, more and more people are going to look to that and say, hey, look, the officers can't defend us because there's not enough of them to be here. So they are going to take the law in their own hands.
Well, duh. I've been saying this for years. When seconds count, police are only minutes away. When it comes to police response times, most cities aim for an average response time of about 5 to 6 minutes. Getting attacked by criminals happens in seconds, not the minutes it takes police officers to get to you. And that's assuming you even have the ability to actually call the police before the attack. That's what most people don't realize. Even if the attack takes 3 hours, if you can't actually call the police to let them know you're being attacked, they won't be coming at all. And I assure you, a criminal isn't going to let you take a coffee break from your carjacking so that you can go and call the police. You have to deal with the issue yourself right there in the moment. At best, most the cops will be able to do is take a report about what happened or clean up the scene of your demise. Yes, that's pretty morbid, but we are talking about life or death here.
Just this week, we've reported on 3 apparent criminals in Houston getting shot. In Humble Sunday, investigators believe a man was being robbed by 2 teens outside a convenience store. The victim's friend saw what was happening and shot both teens, one of them dead. Monday morning in northwest Harris County, a woman found dead in a ditch. Authorities believe she was shot after burglarizing cars.
If you're the criminal element, you may want to think about it. I'm telling you, because there are people out there that are tired of this, and they're going to do what they have to do to protect their property.
Man, people are beyond tired. Life is hard enough. Criminals act like they're the only ones who had to deal with the fallout from the pandemic. A lot of people barely made it through, and a lot more people are still going through the financial woes that the pandemic, better yet, the way our politicians handled the pandemic, created. Now add on all the predators running around looking for people to target, and it's just pushing people over the edge. They're not playing anymore. They're taking their safety into their own hands, and they should, because it's not fair to ask people who do the right thing, mind their own business, follow the law, and simply try to provide for their family to just sit and twiddle their thumbs hoping the police will save them because some criminal decided he wanted to attack them for no other reason than believing they were an easy victim. Thankfully, Texas gun laws are what they are, and people in Texas have the ability to exercise their constitutional right to use a gun to protect themselves. Unlike places like New York City and Los Angeles, where the politicians hate the Second Amendment so much, they rather see their citizens become victims than have to deal with an armed population of people, which should tell you everything you need to know about how much the politicians in these cities really care about you. They care about their control over you more than your safety, and they would rather you die at the hand of a criminal than give you full access to the Second Amendment. And then they'll lie to you and tell you it's for your safety, while the criminals become more emboldened because they know most people don't or can't carry a gun.
I would caution people to be careful when using deadly force.
Charles Adams, a Fox contributor, former police officer, and judge.
A gun is not a magic wand. If you're going to carry a gun, don't have the mistaken belief that merely brandishing a gun solves all the problems.
This shootout last week in a southwest Houston neighborhood. A 30-year-old man killed confronting someone trying to steal his girlfriend's car.
But we tell people, use caution, call us, let us deal with these guys.
Gun owners trying to fire back when face-to-face with criminals.
If you're going to carry a gun, you need to train, and use it as a tool, but only when you absolutely have to.
I'm the biggest advocate for carrying a gun for protection. But don't confuse that for me thinking my gun makes me invincible. It does not. It merely gives me a fighting chance. I still go about my life as if I don't have a gun on me because I know they didn't stop making guns when they made mine. Sometimes having a gun won't do any good for you because you weren't aware of your surroundings and criminals got the drop on you before you could even process what's going on. Trust me, that is not a good time to try to be quick draw McGraw. I personally think brandishing a gun to try to intimidate a criminal is not smart either. My gun doesn't ever come out unless I know I'm willing to actually use it to protect my life. So essentially, if I feel justified to brandish my gun, it's because I also feel justified in actually using my gun. So brandishing is pointless. Just use the gun. That said, there's a big difference in pulling my gun, getting ready to shoot, and then the threat stops so I don't shoot versus pulling my gun to simply say, hey, don't mess with me, and I absolutely don't fire warning shots. Because firing warning shots is a perfect way, or the best way, of going to jail. And at worst, shooting someone who didn't intend to shoot. As someone who has taken a lot of self-defense shooting classes, defending yourself with a firearm can get really tricky. And as a lawyer, I'll be the first to tell you, knowing when to shoot and not to shoot can not only get complicated, but it can get really expensive. This is why I advocate people getting a USCCA membership so that you can gain access to self-defense training and self-defense insurance, because the knowledge you'll gain is invaluable. And the peace of mind knowing you have financial resources and self-defense lawyers at your disposal is priceless. So I'll put a link in the description section of this video if you want to learn more. And also be sure to stop at shop.mrcolionnoir.com to get your I Am the Militia merchandise and also all of the other designs we have for the Pew Pew life. Oh, and also hit the subscribe button and then it'll drop down. It'll say all, click all. If you click the all button, share, like, and leave a comment. And if you want to be up to date with my videos on top of discount codes, special giveaways, so forth and so on, there'll be a link in the description also to sign up for my email list and my text list.